This video is brought to you by the increasingly large pile of junk boxes that's growing in the background of all these videos. Psych! This video is brought to you by Team Kong. That's right, this is the official beard of Team Kong, of which you are not because you don't have the beard like I do. Ha ha ha. What's up everybody, I'm back. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing another Playmates Godzilla unboxing. Although this time we are doing our first Playmates Godzilla vs Kong unboxing. I'll unzip so you can see the Godzilla vs Kong goodness, baby. In today's video we have the two Godzillas that were released by Playmates that are a reasonable size. That is the Godzilla with Radio Tower and Atomic Heat Ray Godzilla. So we'll probably start with this guy because he's a little less gimmicky. So yeah, let's start with this boy. I will say, right off the bat, good packaging. I like it. I like the branding, the banner, of course. Back of the box, good. Nice new little plot description. Like all the lineup here. Hey, what's that? Can't talk about it yet, I guess, even though it's right there. There's still a spoiler for some people. Cool stuff. I like it. I like the packaging, and I would just prefer if there was just a plain Godzilla with normal dorsal fins. I hate that there isn't such figure in existence, but hey, you know what? That's okay. He'll look fine on a shelf. So as with the other figures, the tail came in two separate pieces. You can just pop that on real nice and easy without needing any sort of blow dry or anything. Kind of cool that it holds its pose so well, because it just popped off right there, but it does seem to hold its pose fairly well. Even though there's only one point of articulation in the tail, it's only one little ball joint. The tip of the tail kind of tricks you into thinking it's a bendy wire, but it isn't. It's just plastic. Dorsal fins are much harder than they've been on the other figures, but they're still more rubbery than some of the other toys you could get. Legs kick out and back, out and back. Feet have the ability to turn, but mine are very stiff. I'm sure that's something that could be easily fixed, but at the moment mine are super stiff. Mine don't turn. Arms go up and down, head looks side to side, and the mouth can open and close. That's good. That's a nice improvement on this guy over the other Playmates figures. Of course, he has a big old missing chunk in the middle of his chest where you can see that nice nasty exposed part with the little ribs sticking through. Good detailing there with ribs. Just like this big wall of flesh underneath. Kind of gross. I don't know why that's a thing that toys are doing now, where they like these battle damaged aesthetics. Jurassic Park has been doing it for a little while now, and I guess Godzilla's joining suit. Really had to cram that little chest piece in there. It doesn't really fit in great, and it looks super obvious and noticeable. I don't like that either. I don't like that they're all battle damaged figures. I think that's a really dumb addition. But overall, let's take a look at him. He does retain the unrendered aesthetic of all the other Playmates figures. Just smooth plastic all over the place. Once again, this really hard plastic. This chest piece is made of a rubber-like material, so it's very malleable. But overall, it's not great. The paint job's not great. It's very undetailed, even in the face on this figure. The blue on the dorsal fins look fine, and there is some texturing on the dorsal fins, but overall, it's pretty untextured. Like right here, just looks very smooth. They could use a lot more detailing, and that's just kind of the main feature of this figure, is that it could use more detailing all throughout. You got blue up through the tail into the back and then all the way up to the neck here. It also, like, it's very noticeable, the pieces put together. It's pretty cheap. Cheaply made figure. Feels fairly cheap, all things considered. Not that soft, nice vinyl feel of the Bandai figures. Speaking of, and I know he's been sun bleached, so he looks pretty awful now, but here's a, I believe, Bandai Godzilla 2014 figure for comparison here. This one was a little gimmicky figure in the tail, so you could move him around using the tail. Pretty dumb gimmick, but you know, it served its purpose, I guess. So just for comparison, these are the two types of children's toys that we got back in 2014 and then now in 2020/2021. That's the difference between them. I think I probably prefer the Playmates figures. Got less noticeable bolts like on this guy, and it feels a little more consistent overall than this figure does. Plus it doesn't have that big gap in the midsection, even if it does have that nasty little scarred chest piece. Just goes to show that the lower end figures have never really been great. We've never really gotten a solid lower end Godzilla Monsterverse figure. I guess Bandai Japan, the one I got back there, up there. That one was pretty good, but it's okay because we have NECA to make up for that. Here's a little comparison to our big boy Jakks Pacific Godzilla King of the Monsters figure. Looking at him now, seeing the nice brown detailing in the chest, and I don't know, I don't remember how I reviewed this figure initially, but in comparison to the new Playmates one, it does have a certain charm to me. I really like the brown. That's seriously missing on this is just a dull gray paint job. This guy's got at least some paint going on, even if he's not the most detailed. And he does still look very shiny and sleek and not great, but it's okay. Here's a little size comparison. Tiny little Godzilla. But this is all we got for King of the Monsters, so we had to live with it. Isn't that right? But that's okay, little Godzilla here. And then the radio tower accessory. It's a little radio tower. It's nice and rubbery and bendable. I was thinking it would be plastic. I'm glad that it's not because it feels much less breakable knowing that it's not. You can really go to town and beat up some King Kong figures with it. I guess this is how Godzilla's supposed to hold it. You'd think he'd hold it at the crunched section, but it's pretty hard to get it in his hand. It won't really stick, so this is the best we can do. There is some nice detailing like in the hands here. The hands are pretty well detailed with the nice nails being painted, and at least there's pupils in the eyes. It's not a terrible figure or anything. Weird accessory. We'll have to see if it plays into the movie at all. But there you go. Well, hard to get him to hold it. There you go, Godzilla with the radio tower and the chest piece that comes off and the blue dorsal fins for his charged up atomic breath. I will give it a 6 out of 10. Next up, we have the Godzilla with heat ray version. Here we go, Godzilla out of the box. Just snap that tail right on in there. Same deal with the other figure, same exact articulation. Again, feet are really stiff on the legs. Don't really think you're gonna get much mobility out of them. Arms go up and down, head turns, mouth closes. There you go. This figure's pretty much identical to the other one. Everything I had to say about the sculpt of the last one, I have to say about this one. Once again, it's pretty unrendered. That's just the term I'm using from now on. Pretty unrendered, but I like some of the detailing here with things like the ribs, and the dorsal fins look fantastic on this one. That's more of a paint type deal, even though it's not painted, they're just translucent, but they look great. I love the translucent dorsal fins. I think they're fantastic, super cool. I like that you can see through them. I really like that. It can do some really cool stuff with lighting if you're a toy photographer with this. Not that this is exactly the figure you want to use for toy photography, but still, transparency is cool. So I really like the look of them. I think the paint looks much better here as well. I prefer the black over the gray. It makes them look a little cooler, even if it's not as movie accurate. Makes them look a little cooler. Makes those blue eyes really pop. The other Godzilla featured yellow eyes. This one features blue. Kind of highlights all the colors actually. You can get the red in the chest a lot more red, and even the pink in the mouth looks a little more pink. And then of course the blue on the dorsal fins looks much more blue simply because it's contrasted against the darker color. Pretty good stuff. I really like it. Again, you got this little rubbery chest piece, this flexible little nasty little chest piece that you can force in there. You do have to kind of force them in there. They don't really go in easy. Then once you get it in there, Godzilla's just got this big noticeable chunk in his chest, so it's like, doesn't look great. As for the atomic breath, looks fine. Once again, it's a translucent piece, so it kind of fits with the dorsal fins, bendy, flexible, rubbery. I like that Playmates goes that route because, of course, these are figures that kids are going to want, so it's probably safer to go this route than something hard plastic. You can kind of stick your finger straight up this. It's like hollow on the inside, which is interesting. It's got an interesting shape as well. I like the sculpt of it. It could be stolen from somewhere. Playmates has done that before, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt here. The tip of it has this little plug up that you're supposed to cram up and into Godzilla's mouth so that he can hold on to the atomic breath and make him bite down on it. So then you can hold it in his mouth. Pretty solid idea. I like it. You can move him around with it. Good stuff there. For a comparison, and I do realize how unfair of a comparison this is, I've got the NECA Godzilla 2019 with the 2019 dorsal fins, so they're the same dorsal fins, the atomic breath version of both of these figures. Obviously, one is much more high quality than the other, but similar ideas between the figures, similar sizes between the figures. Figured I'd show them off here together so that you could see them right next to one another because they're kind of the mid-end and low-end versions of the same figures, and they're pretty cool. Do the good old beam battles from the Heisei era. Nice stuff. I like it. I like this one a lot more than I like the other one. And it does kind of go well with the 2019 Godzilla NECA Atomic Breath version. Overall, I'd give the Godzilla with Heat Ray from Playmates an 8 out of 10 on a children's toy scale. Pretty cool. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man, out. What? You never watched my 66 years of Godzilla tribute? You know it's posted, right? I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but go check it out. And then you can tell me if you like it or not.